Thank you for participating in the audio tape and CD ministry from Christ Unity Church in Medford, Oregon. At the conclusion of this presentation, please continue listening for important information.
Good morning, children of God.
Good morning.
What a wonderful day to come together, to join together, to pray together, to sing and worship together. And let's begin this day in prayer. O loving Father, Mother God, we take this moment to acknowledge your presence. We take this moment to know that this one presence and one power is mine to claim. We take this moment to be open and receptive and responsive to your instruction and guidance. And we give thanks for the opportunity to come together to worship in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Good morning.
Let us
Good morning. And welcome. You all look very rested this morning. Is that extra hour?
Extra hour of sleep, yeah.
Good. Okay. Here at Christ Unity Church, we like to welcome anyone here the very first time. Our guests are always welcome, whether here in the sanctuary or on the internet. So we like to acknowledge our guests as first-timers because after that, we hope you will feel at home with our church family. For those online, please drop us a note, and for those here in the chapel, please stay following the service for fellowship so we can get acquainted with you. And today is our potluck, so be sure and stay for that. The reading of our daily word this morning will be by Janet.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see all these smiling faces. Welcome back, Alice. My life is unfolding in orderly ways. Any time I face a situation that seems out of sync with the natural order of things, I know what to do. I pause and reflect on God's presence within me and around me. I then take a moment to retreat in thought to a favorite spot where I have enjoyed warm sunlight, a gentle breeze, or a flowing fountain. In this contemplative moment, I am immersed in the natural order of life. God is the one source of order in the world and in my life, and remembering this lifts my spirits. Conscious of this truth, I rise above any concern about outcomes. As I relax, breathe easier, and maintain a positive outlook, my life unfolds in orderly ways. I will turn the darkness before them into light, the rough places into level ground. These are the things I will do, and I will not forsake them. Isaiah 42:16. Namaste.
In your bulletin today, you should have had a copy of our Silent Unity Prayer Service for the month of November. Every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, we do that service. We follow right along. And if you can't be with us here in the chapel, feel free to join us in spirit wherever you are. Again, that's Wednesdays at 11. And then we follow that with our class right after that, and then in the evening as well. It's in your bulletin. And he said, breathing. We got to work on this. How do we, I have to ask the question because I've never done one quite like this. How do I have an upbeat meditation like this? It's the challenge. That's what it is. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to be joy-filled as we sing The Father and I Are One. You don't even have to get up for that one. Breathe it now. The Father and I are one. The Father and I are one. Are one. The Father and I are one. And with joy in my heart, with love in my heart, I know the Father and I are one. And as I rest in that thought, I move to that place in consciousness Jesus called my inner chamber, my secret place. And there I lock the door. I put aside all those things that are mine to do later in this day, all those things that are behind me already. I don't argue with them or fight with them. I just let them be. And I breathe. And in the stillness, I listen. In the stillness, I pray. And in the silence, I hear. That which is mine in this moment. That which I need in this moment. And that which I claim in this moment. And with each breath I take, I allow this new thought, this new feeling, this new answer to move gently and easily through me. I take this time to immerse myself in it, for that's how I claim it. It is mine. And I am grateful. And as this feeling grows in me, it moves through me into this now, to this when, to this room, where it joins with thought of like mind. And it grows in strength and power. And it moves from me, from us, from this place into our world. And our world is lifted up. And as we continue to hold this thought, it moves through our universe. And somewhere, somewhen, someone says, thank you, thank you, thank you, for in this moment, that which you have sent is exactly what I needed. My prayer is answered. I listen and claim it now. And I am grateful, and that gratitude swells from this one to you, returns to you, and the circle is complete. And in this knowing, I allow this flow to continue. And from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, I feel it in each and every cell of my being. And from this place of knowing, gently, easily, and effortlessly, I bring my attention back to this now, to this when, to this room. And from my heart, I pray as Jesus, my elder brother, has taught us in this manner. Just having fun. Just having fun. How many of you were here last week? Noticed the difference this morning? Orderly, together, coordinated.
We're trying something new.
Little change. Boring. Ooh. Not. Every now and again, a little decorum. And we have about as little as anybody I know. As I was looking at the title for the lesson this morning, it occurred to me I'm about 2 months too early. Because the title is The 7-Day Mental Diet. And see, in January, everybody will be telling you, after you have eaten all this fine food for the last 2 months, now would be a good time to go on a diet. And then before our power went out this morning, I realized that no, this is an ongoing notion. We hear on a regular basis this diet, that diet, the other diet, and so forth and so on. And it occurred to me, he said, getting on the scale where it said 1 at a time, please, that I might have something backwards. I am more concerned about what I put in my body, what I eat, than I am about what I put in my brain, what food I eat. Now, we've all heard the statement, you know, you are what you eat, and if that were true, I'd be a cheese pizza. So that's not working. And there's no doubt that we know when we eat well, when we listen to our body, and we eat those foods that we know are good for us, that we have the tendency to be more fulfilled, not just full, but more fulfilled, to stand out, to move forward. Yeah. So there's no doubt that eating the right foods work. How many of you are aware that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were vegetarians? How many of you knew that they were rabid vegetarians? That doesn't make them bad. That just means that that's what they did. They felt that this was the right thing for them to do, and that's what they practiced, and were real strong about it. And for good reason, from their personal point of philosophy. And I encourage you to read some of those early works of the Fillmores to understand why that seems to be so strong for them. I, on the other hand, figure that the good Lord created cattle because McDonald's needed a logo. I don't have a problem in that area of the world. Right? I lived in a lot of places where it was real simple. To survive, you ate it before it ate you. I'm still doing that to a degree. Now, what does that have anything to do with spirit? What it has to do with is where I focus and what's going on in my world. How many of you are praying that I actually survive to Wednesday of this next week? Regularly, every 30 seconds. Please, Lord, let me make it to Wednesday. Okay? All right? So, knowing that we have gone through this, that there's a lot of stuff going on in my world, what have I been feeding me? And what is my result? So I'm going to encourage you that don't wait for the first of the year. Take a 7-day mental diet as soon as you humanly can after Wednesday. Or maybe even before wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay? I need to cleanse myself of a lot of negativity. A lot of stuff going on. And we all have passionate positions about how we feel about things. That's a wonderful place to be, and I don't have any qualms. Whatever your personal persuasion is as to what you think politically and what is right for us to do in the world and so forth and so on, you're an individual. You have the right to think anything you want. I would suggest highly that you shift your thinking a little bit from a position to looking for the good. one of the people in the media department at the village created a website called Looking for the Good, and that was the whole idea, was to take political campaigns at a local level and take them to your politicians and say, look for the good. Look for the good. We have plenty of people who will tell us what's wrong. Plenty of people who will tell us what's wrong. Beginning with the completely negative news network. And others of their ilk. Until you get into a place where you know what's really going on for you. Right? Until you get into a place where you know what's really going on for you. It's not out here. It's in here. So I need to start taking that mental diet. I need to get rid of this negative stuff that I've been piling on me that I know I do. Now, how's that for silly? But we know we do it, don't we? Does it serve anybody's purpose to tell me how bad somebody else is? No. Does it do me any good to say, your fault is, and then list all the stuff? No. So I need to take this diet. I need to get that stuff out and say, what can I put in? How many of you fast occasionally? We don't do that a lot anymore. It used to be a whole lot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-day fasts. To do a cleansing. That's what it was all about. It was to cleanse. I think for 7 days what we ought to do as part of our 7-day diet is make a shift. For 7 days we will come here every day for an hour, and on 1 day a week we'll go to work. That works for you? See, then, because for 7 days you know what you'll be putting in. One of the biggest challenges we have when we come to church and when we work together is that I come into a group, an organization like this, I come into a class with high expectations and I have a need. There's something that I want to, that I'm seeking. And my biggest fear is that I will find it, and when I leave this building, I will leave it here. Try that one on. A lot of people think that. That the worst thing that could happen to me ever is to find what I'm seeking and then lose it. Here's the truth of you. You can't lose it. It is with you. Every step of the way. You just need to bring it to the forefront. You have a choice. Every step of the way, you have a choice. Will I choose to live this way or not? Will I choose to buy into this argument or not? Will I choose to express this truth of me or not? You get to choose. Then comes the fun part. Now, I then need to open up and look and say, what am I expressing? What am I demonstrating? What's coming into my world? Is this really what I want? And if the answer is no, don't blame anybody. Go, didn't quite get it right this time. Sank all the way up to my knees when tried to walk on water. Right? Had a wonderful helper that said, get back in the boat. Right? But you have to try. I mean, we wouldn't even have that story if Peter hadn't tried. Right? Tried to reset his thinking. Understood, because the message was there. Didn't always express it real well. Didn't always demonstrate it real well. And later there's a whole lot about that, what he didn't do. But he tried it. He said, well, okay, Lord, if you can do it, then let me give it a shot here. Oh, the feet are wet. Ooh, we're down to the ankles. Ooh, back in the boat. Okay, back in the boat. Uplift. Right? Get to try again. Need to think about it again. Where was the error? Does anybody know where the error in that story is? For me personally? Probably not, but I will share it with you. You know where the error that Peter made? From where I'm thinking? Okay. is the bag of shells looked down. All right? Here's how it went. Ready? Right? You look down. What would have happened if you just done this? You'd still be walking the water, I suspect. See, because every time Jesus did something, what did he do first? Looked up. Looked up. Went into that place in consciousness where he was uplifted. Went to that place within the truth of him where he knew that the Father and I were one, and I can step into that. I did that first, and then did whatever. So our mistake, if there is one, our error, our sin, is that we forget to look up first. And to trust. Do you know that you know that you know that you have the ability to do anything you choose? I had a little thing on the board here a couple of weeks ago. And I was thinking about one of the sports players, and Tiger Woods is one of my guys that I like to follow a lot. Everybody can't play golf like Tiger Woods, but anybody can play golf. Everybody can't, and then you fill in whatever that looks like for you, but anybody can. Right? So it's just a matter of taking that next step. I was playing golf Friday where it was so, weather did a wonderful thing. See, when you work with Spirit, Spirit works with you. It was raining when I left the house, and I said, yeah, but I need to go play golf today. I mean, I need to go play golf today. Golf is a nice walk in the park for me. It's an opportunity to just be. It's to let all this stuff behind. And it rained on me all the way through through Eagle Point. And I looked at the windshield doing this, thinking, maybe I'm not going to play golf today. Yes, I'm going to play golf today. Kept driving. Got into White City. Dang. Oh, no, I need to play golf today. Got out of the car and the rain quit. And by the time I got my shoes on and made it to the first tee, the sun was out. I had a beautiful day. And it rained on somebody else's parade, not mine. I had the opportunity to turn around and go home. Several times. But when I tell you I needed to play golf that day, what I really needed to do was in this moment, just to be. I needed to set aside all the stuff that is mine to do, of which I have a long list. And some days it seems longer than others. Okay? But in this moment, I needed to take time for me away from it. It was my choice to go to the mountain. It just happens to be flat with green and holes on it. But it's that setting aside. It's that taking a mental rest. A little mental diet from all the stuff that's going on. Put it away from me. Right? And it's important to take that time. Now, you don't have to go play golf. Or play the piano. What do you do just to be you? Take a walk. That works. I have a friend who says, well, I just like to be in nature. And she lives on the top of a bloody hill. A big one. She has to walk up both ways to get to her post office box. That's what it seems like. Go for a walk at her house? No! Take you a week to get back to the town. But you have to find something that works for you. Look for something that works for you. That's what a mental diet is all about. Now, the 7-day mental diet is to do it every day for 7 full days. Every time one of these little things comes into your head, you put it aside. Let it go. Choose not to eat it. Just let it go. Choose not to ingest it. Let it go. Choose not to take ownership of it. Let it go. Make the shift and step out. And here comes the biggie. Don't tell anybody you're doing it. Don't tell anybody you're doing it. Just do it. Because here's what happened. People that love you the most, and I mean with a capital L, people that love you the most, when you are trying to be quiet and still, will find things for you to do. If you tell them what you're doing. So don't tell them. Just do it. 7 days. Work diligently, consciously, that as these thoughts that come to you, the stuff that's in our society comes at you, just let it go. Past you, just for 7 days. And for those of you who don't like to let go of anything, understand this. At the end of the 7 days, you can pick it all back up. It'll be right there waiting for you. May change its form a little bit, but it'll be right there waiting for you. And if you've never had this experience, let me suggest that it's really kind of a fun thing to do. You can do it a lot of different ways. A number of years ago, I went into the Sierras. We went backpacking for 10 days. And we packed everything, clothes and food and 4-year-old at the time. Right? And for 10 days, it was just trees, glaciers, cold water, cold water, cooking food on a trail with no wood, which was kind of a cool deal. Carry your little camp stove, okay? Came back after 7 days, got in the car, forgot to turn the radio on, got almost home, and someone said, "Gee, I wonder what's going on." And in 10 days, you know what had changed? Nothing. Not one thing. There was still the noise on that box, on our car radio, was still complaining about this thing and that thing, and which person had done this, to whom, and how many times. And I went, turn it off. And I didn't. Because I'm human. I need to be informed. I need to know what's going on. Because if I'm being informed and I know what's going on, watch this one, I can fix it. As if it's broken. Oh. Even when you know that doesn't work, don't we fall into that trap? So when we hear this negative stuff, we say, wait a minute, I'm a really good person. I'm going to take this negativity on and fix it. Oops. Instead of letting it go. So that's what this 7-day mental diet for you is all about. Is understanding that no matter how things turn out on Tuesday, no matter what anybody has to say, one way or the other, 50% at least of the people are going to be upset. I almost said another word, but I'm going to stay with upset. No matter what, 50% of the people are going to say, I can't understand how the other half could be so brain dead. It doesn't matter which half you're on. Okay, now, do I want to live in that place? That's not the truth of me, is it? No. So when that happens, this is where you have the opportunity to have fun. Is to say, no, this is not the truth of me. For the next 7 days, I'm going to live the truth of me. I'm going to live the truth I know. I'm going to let this stuff just go. I'm going to know, just the way that Jesus knew, that I'm going to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and I'm going to step out on my spiritual path. And when my disciples come to me and say, how are we going to pay the taxes? I'm going to say, let's go fishing. And from the mouth of the fish came what is needed. Why? Because I know that my every need is met. Every need is met. It begins so simply. We try to make it so difficult, but it begins so simply. Simply, 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 simply. And it starts with just 2 words. And if you put a period after the end of them, No commas, no howevers, no buts. Your world will change. And those two words are, I am. I am. Together. I am. Once again. I am. One more time. I am. You just began your diet. Namaste.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the Internet at www.unitymedford.org.